My little brother sent a message to the family group chat Friday night. Don't come to the cookout this weekend. My new wife says you bring the whole vibe down. Mom and Dad sent heart reactions repeatedly like it was hilarious. I only typed one word in response. Understood. I am Solange Pierre, 35 years old, Executive Vice President of Engineering at Nexara Biolabs in Raleigh, North Carolina, the company that is about to launch a medical device worth billions. My family still thinks I'm the weird sister who just works in some lab and probably lives paycheck to paycheck. I locked my phone, placed it face down, and went back to signing contracts that could buy our parents' neighborhood twice over. Because when people tell me I'm not welcome, I don't beg, I don't explain, I just let them find out the hard way. If you have ever been treated like the family punchline, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe right now with notifications on. You do not want to miss what happened the next morning when she screamed loud enough for the entire floor to hear her. Saturday morning, 9:17 a.m., Zaria's voice rang through the speaker. Solange, there is a woman downstairs insisting she needs to speak with whoever handles investments. She won't give her name and says it is urgent. Her husband is with her. I told Zaria to send them up. The glass door slid open exactly 1 minute and 53 seconds later. Naomi walked in first, wearing a tight red dress and oversized sunglasses, pushed up into her silk press, like she was about to shoot a music video. Jevin trailed behind her, hands buried in the pockets of his jeans, eyes on the floor. Both of them stopped dead the moment they saw me sitting behind the desk. Naomi's sunglasses slipped from her fingers and hit the marble with a loud clatter. Solange. The word came out strangled. Her gaze bounced from my face to the polished brass nameplate, then to the giant Nexara Biolabs logo, taking up half the back wall. You work here? Jevin's mouth actually fell open. He looked like someone had punched him in the stomach. This is your office, he managed to say. I sat there, fingers resting on the desk, voice flat. Executive Vice President of Engineering. What do you two want? Naomi recovered in a split second. The shock turned into the brightest, fakest smile I had ever seen. She sashayed forward and dropped a thick, glossy sales deck right in front of me like it was scripted. Oh my God, this is literally perfect, she shrieked, clapping her manicured hands together. I am raising funds for my medical diagnostic startup, next generation point of care testing, a total game changer. We need $2 million to get past FDA clearance. You are literally in the industry. You can write the check today. Jevin finally found his voice and nodded hard. Yeah, sis. It's a guaranteed hit. Family looks out for family, right? I didn't touch the presentation. You showed up at my job without an appointment on Memorial Day weekend to ask for $2 million. Naomi's smile didn't even flicker. Exactly. Blood is thicker than water, Solange. I looked her dead in the eyes. No. The smile vanished, like someone flipped a switch. What do you mean no? Her voice went up an octave. Are you seriously saying no to your own brother? Jevin stepped up beside her. Solange, come on. This could set us up for life. I repeated myself slower this time. Leave now. The open plan floor outside my glass walls had gone completely silent. Every engineer within a 50 FT radius suddenly found their second monitor fascinating. Naomi's face turned the exact shade of her dress. You are joking right now, she yelled. You sit up here in your fancy corner office, making millions, and you won't help your own blood. She spun toward the glass so the whole floor could hear. This is why nobody wants you around. You are jealous that Jevin finally has a real partner, and all you have is this cold, pathetic job. Security was already moving. 2 guards in black polos appeared at my door before I even pressed anything. Ma'am, you need to lower your voice and exit the building, the taller one said. Naomi turned on him. Do you even know who she is? That is her brother. Jevin grabbed her wrist. Naomi, let's go. She snatched her arm back. No, she has no right to treat us like trash. The guard stepped closer. One already had the elevator held open. Jevin looked at me one last time, eyes wide with betrayal. You are really choosing this place over us," he muttered as they dragged Naomi toward the hallway. She was still screaming about lawsuits and how I would regret this when the door slid shut, sealing off the noise. Zarya walked in after the chaos disappeared down the elevator shaft. "Your brother's wife is a special kind of special," she said. I opened the presentation just enough to see the cover page. Naomi Ashford, CEO and founder. Javon was not mentioned once. I fed the whole thing into the shredder and watched the ribbons curl. My phone started buzzing on the desk before the elevator even hit the parking garage. Javon's first call came through before I poured my coffee. I let it ring. He called again, third time. Fourth. On the fifth, I answered. "What do you want, Javon?" His voice cracked with pure fury. "Do you have any idea how humiliated Naomi is right now? She is sitting in the car crying her eyes out because of you." I stayed silent, waiting. "You couldn't give us 5 minutes," he continued. "You had to call security like we were garbage in front of your whole company. Still nothing from me. You are heartless, Solange. Always have been." I took a slow sip of coffee. "Anything else?" He hung up. 10 minutes later, the texts rolled in. "Javon, you just killed our future. Javon, Naomi hasn't stopped crying since we left. John, hope that big office keeps you warm at night." I muted the thread and opened my Wells Fargo app instead. That was when the notification banner dropped. Pre-approval alert. $480,000. Personal loan. Co-signer. Solange Pierre, primary borrower. Javon Pierre, secondary borrower. Naomi Ashford Pierre. They had filled out the application at 2:14 a.m. using my social security number, old pay-ubs I left at Mom's house years ago, my exact salary from public SEC filings, and my current address. The bank system had already pre-approved it pending final review. I called Mark, my relationship manager at Wells Fargo. "Mark, there is a personal loan for $480 in my name. And Carrie Branch. Kill it." He pulled it up instantly. "Co-signer listed as you. Do you want a hard denial and fraud alert? Hard denial, fraud alert, and freeze any new applications with my info for the next 90 days. Done." Confirmation email landing in 4 minutes. It landed at 10:41 a.m. status permanently denied, reason cosigner withdrawal and suspected identity fraud. I forwarded the PDF to Jevon with no caption. He called immediately, declined. He called again, declined. Then Naomi's number lit up the screen. I answered, "You think you are real smart, don't you?" She spat, blocking our loan like a child. "You used my identity without permission. It is called family support. Clearly, you wouldn't know anything about that. You forged my signature on a legal document." "Oh, please, you make millions. 480 is pocket change to you. I spot fraud perfectly fine." She laughed cold and vicious. "Keep playing the victim. I'm gonna tell Mom and Dad exactly what kind of selfish, greedy daughter they raised. By the time I am done, you will be persona non grata at every family event for the rest of your life. Do it." I said, "Start with how you tried to steal $500,000 using my name." 3 full seconds of dead silence. "You will regret this," she hissed. "I promise you." She ended the call. I set the phone down and looked out the window at downtown Raleigh. At 10:27, the family group chat exploded. "Mom, Solange, did you really shame your brother and Naomi at your office?" "Mom, that is not how we raised you." "Jevon, she called security to throw us out, guys, over money." I left every message on read. By noon, Naomi had posted a long Instagram story soaked in tears about toxic relatives who only care about money and titles, complete with a shaky video of the Nixara building and captions about being stabbed in the back by your own blood. She tagged the company account. Zarya screenshot it and sent it to legal within 30 seconds. I told legal to hold off for now. At 12:43 p.m., another alert from Wells Fargo pinged. New joint credit card application submitted. My name and Jevon's requested limit $50,000. I called Mark again. He killed it before the system even finished processing. I spent the next hour pulling full credit reports from Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, placing extended 7-year fraud alerts, freezing my credit at every bureau, and notifying every lender I have ever used that any application without my direct verbal confirmation was to be denied on the spot. When I finished, I leaned back in my chair and stared at the ceiling. They weren't going to stop. That was clear as crystal now. A thick brown envelope appeared at my door that same afternoon. No return address, no courier label, just my name written in plain print. I took it inside, dropped it on the kitchen island, and sliced it open with a steak knife. 42 pages slid out, clipped by a single black binder clip. The cover page read, Private Investigation Report. Subject, Naomi Ashford. Prepared for anonymous client. Date May 24th. Dad's handwriting jumped out at me before I turned a page. I pulled the small, loose note out first. It was written on the back of an old light bill in shaky blue ink. I have suspected for a long time, but I didn't know how to bring it up. If you can handle this, please do. I am sorry, Dad. I sat down and started reading. Page 1. Summary. Naomi Ashford, 27, married to Jabon Pierre, December 2023. Previous marriage, Tyrell Whitaker, 2021 to 2022. Dissolved following Chapter 7 bankruptcy filing. Pages 2 through 12. Court documents from Tyrell Whitaker's bankruptcy. Naomi had convinced him to max out 8 credit cards for inventory for a beauty startup that never launched. Total debt, $200,000. Tyrell lost his townhouse in Buckhead, his truck, and his credit score dropped to 480. Naomi walked away with a settlement that paid her legal fees and left him with everything. Pages 13 through 20. Current credit report pulled yesterday. Naomi personally owes $81,000 across 12 cards, all maxed out. The interest alone costs her $3,000 a month. Pages 21 through 34. New personal loans opened in the last 3 months, all in Jabon's name only. Total borrowed $142,000. Purpose listed on every application. Home renovation and business equipment. No renovations have started. No equipment purchased. Bank statements show the money moved to Naomi's personal account the same day it hit. Pages 31 through 38. Screenshots of text messages between Naomi and a loan officer. She used Jabon's phone to text when he was at work. One exchange stood out. Naomi, just tell them my husband makes $120 at the dealership. They won't verify. Loan officer approved. Pages 39 to 42. Social media deep dive. Private Instagram stories bragging about an upcoming 7-figure seed round. Photos in front of houses she doesn't own. Captions about building an empire. Every post hidden from Jabon's account. I read the whole thing twice. Dad must have hired the investigator right after the wedding. 6 months of watching, paying, waiting. 6 months of pretending everything was fine at Sunday dinners, while Naomi smiled across the table. I went back to his note and read it again. The handwriting got shakier near the end, like he wrote it fast before he changed his mind. My phone stayed silent the rest of the night. No more calls from Jabon. No more threats from Naomi. The group chat had gone quiet too, probably because Mom and Dad were trying to figure out which story to believe. I poured a glass of wine, sat on the sofa, and opened my laptop. First, I emailed Tyrell Whitaker. The investigator had included his current contact info. Subject, Naomi Ashford. Buddy, I have the full report. I know what she did to you. I need 5 minutes of your time tomorrow night. Name your price. He replied in 6 minutes. No charge. Just tell me when and where. Then I pulled the property records for the house Jabon and Naomi live in. Address and carry. 3 bedrooms built in 2018. The deed still shows my name only. I bought it 4 years ago so Jabon wouldn't stress about rent while he figured out his career. The title never transferred. Mortgage in my name only. Monthly payment autopay debited from my account. I opened the mortgage portal and disabled autopay. Then I scheduled an email to my real estate attorney for Monday morning. Subject, initiate formal notice to quit. 30 days. I closed the laptop, picked up Dad's note again, and ran my thumb over the ink. He hadn't asked me to fix anything. He hadn't begged. He just handed me the truth and trusted I would know what to do with it. For the first time all day, I felt something like calm. Tomorrow was Sunday. The cookout was still 24 hours away, and I already knew exactly how this would end. Sunday night, 900-page M sharp. My SUV pulled into the driveway of the Carey house. I left the engine running and the headlights on. Tyrell Whitaker stepped out of the passenger seat, tall, quiet, holding a thin manila folder. He had landed at RDU Airport 2 hours ago, on the last flight out of Atlanta. I paid for the ticket. He still refused to take cash. Javon opened the front door before we reached the porch. "Solange, what the hell are you doing here?" I walked straight past him into the living room. Naomi was on the couch in yoga pants and an oversized hoodie, phone in hand, mid-scroll. She looked up and froze. Tyrell followed me in and shut the door behind him. Naomi's face drained of color. "Ty." The name came out in a whisper. He didn't smile. "Hello, Naomi?" Jeben looked between us, confused. "Who is this?" I answered for him. "Tyrell Whitaker, Naomi's first husband." Naomi jumped up from the couch. "What is this? Some kind of ambush? Sit down," I said. She didn't. "Jeffin?" "Yeah." Tyrell placed the folder on the coffee table and flipped it open. Court-sealed bankruptcy petition 2022. 8 maxed-out credit cards. A foreclosed townhouse in Buckhead. His signature next to hers on every page. He pulled out his phone. Then he opened a gallery of screenshots and set the phone face up. Texts from Naomi to him from 2 years ago. "Sign the new cards, baby. It is just temporary. Once the business pops off, we pay it all back. I promise. Stop being paranoid. The bank won't even notice." Jeben stared at the screen like it was written in another language. Naomi found her voice. "That was years ago. I was young. I made mistakes. You bled him dry. I cut in. Then you moved on to the next one." Jeben finally looked at her. "Naomi." She turned on him, eyes blazing. "He is lying. She is trying to ruin us because she is jealous." Tyrell spoke for the first time, voice low. "I lost everything. House, credit, savings. She told me the exact same story she is telling you now, word for word." Naomi lunged for the phone. Tyrell snatched it back. I reached into my bag and put a single document on top of the bankruptcy papers. The deed to the house we were all standing in, recorded in 2021. Owner Solange Pierre, single name. No mortgage in Javon's name. 0 equity. Jeben read the top line and went pale. I kept my voice level. "I bought this place 4 years ago so you wouldn't have to worry about rent while you figured things out. The title never changed. The mortgage is in my name only. Insurance too." Naomi laughed loud and desperate. "You're bluffing. You wouldn't kick your own brother out." "I disabled the mortgage auto-pay this morning," I said, "and I have removed my name from every account, loan, and application you have touched." Javon stood up slowly. "Solange, you can't." "I can, and I am. All financial support ends tonight. The house is mine. You have 30 days to vacate." Naomi stepped toward me, finger pointing. "You evil. You think you can just bring Tyrell in here and drive a wedge between us? Don't do it." She stopped breathing hard. Jeben's voice cracked. "You are destroying my marriage. You are destroying my life." "No, I said she did that the day she decided to use you the same way she used him." Naomi's eyes filled with tears. "Real or fake? Impossible to tell. Jeben, baby, don't listen to them." Jeben looked at her, then at the deed, then at Tyrell's bankruptcy papers still spread across the table. He didn't say a word. I picked up my keys. 30 days starts tonight. Tyrell followed me to the door. As I stepped onto the porch, I heard Naomi scream. "This isn't over." Jeben's voice sounded smaller than I had ever heard it. "Naomi, is any of this true?" The door shut behind us. I dropped Tyrell at his hotel, thanked him, and drove home in silence. My phone stayed dark the whole way. Jeben started calling at 11:47 p.m. Sunday night and didn't stop until the sun came up. 57 missed calls, 219 texts. "Javon, Solange, please pick up." "Javon, I am on my knees here." "Javon, she is throwing clothes in suitcases." "Javon, you are literally making us homeless." "Javon, I am sorry." "Okay, I am so sorry." "Javon, you are my only sister." "Javon, don't do this to Mom and Dad. I never touched the green button once. The phone stayed face down on the nightstand, lighting up the ceiling every 30 seconds, like a silent strobe light. Monday morning. I walked into the office at 7:59 a.m., opened my laptop, and hit send on the email my lawyer had drafted over the weekend to Jabon Pierre and Naomi Ashford Pierre from Solange Pierre via Reynolds & Associates. Subject: formal termination of all financial support and 30-day notice to quit. 3 crisp pages. Paragraph 1. Every dollar of direct and indirect support ends effective immediately. Paragraph 2. The residence at 1427 Bellevue Lane, Cary, North Carolina, 275 mine, is titled solely to Solange Pierre. Permission of occupancy is hereby revoked. Paragraph 3. You are granted 30 calendar days from receipt to remove all personal property. Day 31 triggers formal eviction. Paragraph 4. Any damages, removal of fixtures, or attempts to place liens will result in immediate civil and criminal action. Sent at 8:14 a.m. Read receipt from both addresses at 8:16 a.m. Naomi replied to my corporate email at 8:29 a.m. Subject: reformal termination. Nice try. This is the saddest bluff I have ever seen. You don't have the backbone to throw your baby brother on the street. See you at the cookout tomorrow. Can't wait to watch you try to explain this tantrum to your parents. I forwarded her reply to my attorney with one line. Proceed without further delay. At 9:05 a.m., the Wells Fargo Fraud Recovery Division emailed Jebin and Naomi directly, copying me. Subject: pre-litigation demand fraudulent loan application, WF 20257-174. Amount fraudulently attempted, $480,000. Demand for reimbursement of processing fees, investigation costs, and statutory damages totaling $11,400 within 90 days. Failure to cure will result in civil suit filed in Wake County Superior Court and referral to NC Attorney General for felony identity theft prosecution. I forwarded that email directly to Naomi. No text, no emoji, just the forward. She replied in 9 seconds. Naomi, you went to the bank. Naomi, you are insane. Naomi, Javon is having a total meltdown. Naomi, you are dead to both of us. Javon resumed calling at 9:22 a.m. I declined each and every one. By noon, the family group chat had turned into a war zone. Mom, Solange, what on earth is this lawyer email? Mom, you cannot put your brother on the street. Dad, call me immediately. Jevin, she is trying to make us homeless before the holiday. Auntie Linda, this is not Christian behavior. I muted it and put the phone on Do Not Disturb. At 2:17 p.m., my attorney confirmed the 30-day notice had been HANDD, delivered by a licensed process server. Naomi signed for it at 1:59 p.m. with a middle finger to the camera. At 4:11 p.m., the mortgage seer confirmed autopay was permanently canceled. The account now requires manual approval for any transaction. At 6:27 p.m., Naomi created a new group chat titled Family Meeting and added me, Jebin, Mom, Dad, 2 uncles, and 3 cousins. Naomi, everyone needs to see what Solange is doing to her own blood. She attached the lawyer's letter, plus the Wells Fargo demand PDF. Naomi, Mom, Solange has gone too far. Dad, we will talk tomorrow. Like it or not, Jebin, she is killing us. I left that chat without saying a word. At 8:52 p.m., the concierge in the lobby buzzed my condo. Ma'am, a Mr. Javon Pierre is downstairs. He says it is life or death. Tell him I am unavailable. Security cameras showed Jebon pacing the lobby for 23 minutes, hands in his hair before he finally walked out into the rain. By midnight, my phone showed 289 new messages and 71 missed calls. I didn't open a single one. Tomorrow was Memorial Day. The cookout was still scheduled for 2 p.m., and I already knew exactly what I was putting on the picnic table. Memorial Day, 1:58 p.m. I pulled into Mom and Dad's driveway in Durham. The backyard already smelled like charcoal and ribs. Frankie, Beverly, and Maze floated over the fence before I let go, blasting from the speakers. Uncles, aunts, cousins, neighbors, everybody laughing, red cups in hand. Naomi was by the grill standing next to Dad, wearing a white sundress and a cowboy hat, flipping burgers like she was born into the family. Mom saw me first. Her smile faltered for half a second, then she forced it wider and waved. "Solange, you made it." I walked straight through the gate across the grass and stopped at the long picnic table covered in a red checkered cloth. Nobody noticed the thick manila folder in my hand until I dropped it with a heavy thud right between the potato salad and the baked beans. The silence spread like spilled beer. I opened the folder and spread the documents out in a neat row. First, the original deed to the Carey house, solely in my name, recorded in 2021. Second, the 30-day eviction notice signed by Naomi yesterday. Third, the mortgage statement showing the missed payment and acceleration clause triggered. Fourth, the Wells Fargo pre-foreclosure notice dated this morning. Fifth, Terrell Whitaker's Chapter 7 bankruptcy discharge from 2022. Every page stamped with Naomi's signature right next to his. Jebin dropped his plate. Klesla splattered all over the patio. Mom's hand flew to her mouth. Dad's tongs froze in midair. Naomi laughed, nervous and loud. "What is this? Some kind of joke?" Jevin stumbled forward and fell to his knees in front of me, voice aching. "Solange, please. I will fix it. I will leave her. I will do anything. Don't do this in front of everybody." I looked down at him. "You had 30 days. You chose to spend them lying." Naomi stepped up, cheeks flushing red under the hat. "You are doing this here on a holiday. You are sick." Mom finally found her voice. "Solange, baby, can we talk inside?" "No," I said, "everybody deserves to see exactly who they have been defending." Dad looked at the bankruptcy papers like they were written in blood. "Naomi, is this true?" She rolled her eyes. "That was years ago. People change." Jebman was weeping now, hands gripping my jeans. "I didn't know. I swear. I didn't know the full story. I love her. Please, Solange." I took a step back, so his fingers slipped off the fabric. Naomi kept talking. "You are just jealous because nobody wants you. You are alone with your money and your big job and you hate it. We are happy." The aunties gasped. Someone killed the music. I looked at Mom, then Dad, then every face that had taken Naomi's side for the last 6 months. 30 days, I said. After that, the bank takes the house, the loans in Javon's name. His problem. I am done paying for lies. Javon sobbed harder. "You are my sister. You stopped being my brother the day you let her use my name to steal." Naomi lunged forward like she could grab the papers. Dad caught her wrist without thinking. Mom's eyes filled with tears. "Solange, please don't leave like this." I snapped the empty folder shut. "I'm already gone," I said. "Today was just the goodbye you forced me to deliver in person." I turned around and walked back across the yard. Nobody moved. Nobody called after me. The only sound was Jevin crying in the grass and the sizzle of meat burning on the grill. I got in my car, backed out, and drove away without checking the rearview mirror once. 3 months later, the foreclosure was final. A padlock gleamed on the front door. The foreclosure sale happened on a Tuesday morning. I didn't attend. The trustee emailed me the final paperwork at 11:07 a.m. Property reverted to lender. Deficiency balance waived because I never signed as a borrower. Clean break. Naomi got hit with 3 separate civil suits the same week. Wells Fargo, for the fraudulent loan fees. 2 credit card companies for balances she had run up in Jaban's name once I blocked everything. Total judgments, $163,000 and counting. Her wages, if she ever finds a job, are garnished for the next 15 years. Jebin's credit score crashed to 510. The auto repair shop where he worked ran a routine background check after 6 months of employment and fired him the next day. Nobody in the triangle will hire a mechanic with that kind of red flag. Mom and Dad put their small house in Durham on the market in August. They accepted an offer $10,000 under, asking just to close fast. The proceeds went straight to paying off the newer loans Naomi had convinced Jibon to take out before I cut the cord. They moved into a 2-bedroom apartment near Guest Road. Mom still leaves the porch light on every night just in case. I blocked every number that ever belonged to them. Changed my personal cell, changed my direct line at work. I had Zarya screen every unknown call at the office. Even my mailing address is now a private P.O. box under the company name. I never heard from Jevon again after the cookout. Naomi tried once from a burner phone 2 weeks after the sale. The voicemail was 4 minutes of screaming silence. I deleted it without listening to the end. Sometimes late at night, I pull up the county property records and look at the Carey house. Status Bank owned. The listing photos show the rooms stripped bare, the walls Jevon painted last year, already patched and repainted neutral beige. Dad sent a letter through my lawyer in September, handwritten, 3 pages. He apologized for not speaking up sooner. He said Mom cries every time she drives past the old neighborhood. He said Jevon sleeps on their couch some nights and hasn't spoken to Naomi in weeks. He asked if we could ever sit down as a family again. My lawyer mailed the reply I dictated. No, that was the last contact. People keep asking if I feel guilty, if I miss my baby brother, if blood really isn't thicker than water. The truth is simpler. Sometimes protecting the family means knowing exactly when to cut out the poison. No matter how loud it screams, no matter how much it bleeds, I sleep just fine now. Did you like the story? And which city are you listening from? Let's meet in the comments. If you like the story, you can support me by sending a super thanks so I can keep bringing more stories like this. Thank you so much for your sweet support. I'm looking forward to your comments on the story. On the screen you can see 2 new life stories that I highly recommend. There's so much more on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe.